Hello everyone and welcome. We are live and this is going to be a stream focused specifically and dedicatedly, not a word, on the computers in front of us, or computer. We're going to be focusing on what the ninjas have been up to for the final week of March, the update of the 25th. Which
it's next Monday.
Yes, it is. Which combines, it says quiet, shed. Any ideas?
Volume is extremely low. Hello, Shogun.
How about now? How about now? I'm gonna wait for the chat to tell me it's good, and then
turn it up. Great sound. Can't hear. Stop whispering. Yeah.
Still super low. Is it low on the streaming software?
No.
Oh.
How bizarre.
Bit more, they're saying.
Have you tried yelling?
Okay, we're good.
Just speak loud.
We're good. Okay, I know we're good now. Okay, so if you have missed it, we'll start with basically a quick intro. So we're going to be covering, come on. Ramen was late to the stream, he's on his way.
He's
tactically early.
Wow.
Well, how can you be tactically early at
that doesn't work.
3
That doesn't
p.m.?
work.
You have to say fashionably late.
Oh dear. Alrighty, so
they're still saying it's quiet.
is it quiet on Phil's mic?
Is it quiet over here? No.
The levels are touching red.
They're touching red, so do you know what? Honestly, we're going to just go with it. So without further ado, I'm going to kick this off. This is a stream focused on the gaming pieces themselves. Delightfully awkward.
Am I supposed to be on?
Yeah, hell yeah. Why not?
Make some effort.
Hi.
They definitely can't hear you over there.
Oh, dear me. So
Ramen.
originally we wanted to release the Incense burners, which comes with this update for this week's updates, but let's push back a week with a polish, right?
Yep. Polish bug fixing. You know, we want it to go out as best as possible. So if that means holding it back a week, then we will do.
Cool. Okay, so without further ado, let us go onto the game screen if we can, Shed, please. And we'll just jump into this. So, as is the way with updates, we always try and showcase stuff on the PCs where possible. It helps kind of explain things a lot better than, I guess, talking about it. So we'll kick it off with, the update that was meant to come out this week, which is the incense sticks. And you might also notice I have some firelighters as well, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. So we're going to take all of these out. You will notice they have descriptions.
Every single one.
Every single one.
There's not many.
No, not at all. Not at all. So we'll take all these out, and while I'm doing that, do you want to kind of talk about the incense sticks as an update in general? So
Yeah, so this is not strictly a fire-making training method. It's more like here's a reward for actually training this skill, which doesn't have much otherwise. We kind of treated them in the same way you treat potions for, what's it called, herb lore. So yeah, they all have like decent enough effects. Some of them are going to be less useful to you at high levels, but obviously you're not going to use the low level ones because that's just skill progression, right? There's some really tasty ones in there that should hopefully bump the price of some of the herbs up as well, because there's a lot of those around that are criminally low priced.
So before we jump into each one, so if I was to start from scratch, let's say if I wanted to make a bloodweed incense stick, how would I make that process from start to finish?
All right, so each kind of incense stick requires a specific type of logs. So you take your logs, you chop them up into sticks. That gets you some fire-making XP. Then you need to make them a bit more burnable. So you throw some demonic ashes on there. So the tiers of impious, accursed, and infernal, depending on how high up the list the logs are. That gets you a little bit more fire-making XP, and then you'll get a little bit more for adding the correct herb onto it. So it's a 3-stage process. You can trade all 3 stages of it, I think. So like with unfinished potions, like you might be like, oh, I'm not going to make much XP, but I might be able to make a bit of money out of this. Or like, oh, you're stocking up on double XP supplies or something. You like take in the nearly finished products, that kind of thing.
And presumably, of course, you can sell the finished product, as it were.
Yeah, of course.
Themselves. Okay, Cool. All right, so we'll go through these. Essentially, we're going to use the power of a tooltip here to kind of tell us, which is awesome. It makes it a lot better than right-click examining. So I'll mouse over the item. The tooltip will come up, but just for people who might be watching a lower quality, I'll just read out the tooltip. So we'll kind of go into it. So we'll start off with the first one, and this is the Bloodweed one. Each potency level provides 2.5% chance to gain an additional log when cutting bloodwood trees. Now, when we say potency level, I think we can kind of talk about that now.
Yeah, so when you light an incense stick, it starts off pretty weak. It lasts for 10 minutes, but you can keep lighting them to get the buff up to 60 minutes. After 10 minutes have elapsed, the potency level goes up, so it will double in strength, then go up by another same amount. So say for this one it's 2.5%, so potency 1 is 2.5%, potency 2 after 10 minutes it's up to 5%, then up to 7.5, then 10%. So obviously that will take 40 minutes to tick up. However, there is another way you can get around this. If you right click, you have an overload option. So usually it would take 4 sticks and 40 minutes. If you do the overload option, you immediately get to potency 4, but that costs you 6 sticks, so it's costing you 1.5 times the normal amount, but you get the full effect immediately.
So now I immediately have a 10% chance. So if I wanted to, I can use the 6 sticks, go straight to 10%, and now I have a 10% chance to gain more logs while cutting the bloodwood trees.
Yep.
So pretty awesome.
Yeah, if you're doing daily runs for the criminal bolts or 8 hourly, whatever it is, potentially getting 10% more logs from that then should help your income there.
Hey, thank you, Shed. You might have just done something that has just saved it.
They're
saying it's much better.
Loud.
Okay. It's always back and forth. Okay, so we're going to tone it down on the mixing board behind us. Now we should be all good. Yes. So apologies.
Thank you. Oh God, my ears.
Okay. So in summary, just for people catching up here, so what we've gone for is kind of the the beginnings of the Incense Burner update, and what that is essentially you have the corresponding herb and the associated log that goes with it.
3-stage process: make the logs into sticks, add the ashes, then add the herbs.
And then, as we just demonstrated, we chose the first one, which was the bloodweed one. We lit it up, and then we got up to 60 minutes. But if you overload it, which uses 6, it takes it to potency level 4, which now gives us a 10% chance to gain.
Instead of waiting 10 minutes for each potency level,
So yes, so you could kind of stagger it in a way. So maybe if you do it with one of the other ones we'll get to, there might be a better way.
Or if you don't want to spend 6 of them, because they're hopefully going to be quite expensive. If you wanted to only spend 4, you could wait the 30 minutes and it would slowly tick up. Bloodweed's maybe not the best example for that, because you're probably going to be doing all your bloodweed trees in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah, so that's a good example to overload though. It might be able to make better profit from getting even more bloodweed logs from it. So fingers crossed. Dwarfweed incense sticks for this one. Each potency level provides a 2% chance to bank items gathered or dropped by monsters. So in this case, 8% at potency level 4.
Yep, that'd be right.
So nice way to kind of, additionally on top of everything, we have gold accumulators and so on and so forth.
Yep.
Another way of...
and obviously you've got Signs of the Porter, similar kind of thing. This is just automatic, doesn't spend charges or anything.
and of course
this works in the same way with ores that it does with Porters, so it'll send it straight to your metal bank. But this also has the benefit of working for monster drops too. Same way that, like, what's it called? Pack-Yak Winter Storage?
The storage scrolls. Let me drag this up a little bit so people can see it. Okay, next up, Felstock Incense Sticks. Each potency level provides a 1% increase to the chance of spawning an elite version of creatures which have one.
You're picking all the best ones to begin with. So yeah, this increases the chance of it's the base chance that gets increased by 1%. You don't get a plus 1% flat boost. So obviously when you're on task you have a better chance anyway, but when you're killing these monsters that have elite versions, they'll be more likely to spawn these ones. So I think like the best example here is like Edimu and Stolgazers.
Yep.
Because they're the big ticket ones really, especially people
if you can get onto
looking for Hex on a bow. You want best chance to
maybe Barrier Destroyer for Rune Dragons as well.
Yeah, potentially.
Yep. So another example. Okay, next up, as you can tell, as an FYI, if you see the color change at the top, that means it's a free-to-play item.
Yeah,
if you don't know that.
free-to-play items are silver, members' items have a gold name.
Still blows my mind. That does. So this is the Guam Incense Sticks. Each potency provides 10% chance to gain an additional log when cutting normal trees. Kind of a low to mid-level increase in that sense.
If you need normal logs, it's a nice bonus. It stacks with the Seer's headband. I think there's another effect that does that as well, that it will stack with. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Rings a bell. I can't remember off the top of my head, unfortunately.
What are we talking about?
Double in.
Extra normal logs.
Extra normals.
No.
Chat will help us, it's fine. We go to this one, which is the Harlander Incense Sticks, and each potency level provides 25% increase to run energy restore rate while resting. Now, this is obviously a burst, I guess, in that way. I mean, getting your run energy back is going to be very useful in very specific scenarios, I guess.
And I mean, we've...
yes, good point. Thank you, Ramen.
Again, this is one that's better for probably low-level accounts who haven't done as a first resort or don't have like ogre flasks from originally bounty on there, now craftable after last week's update, was it? Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Next up is Irrit Incense Sticks. Each potency level provides 25% reduction to poison damage. So level 4, you can nullify completely.
Slowly ticks up, but yeah, at level 4 you won't take any poison damage while this is in effect.
Nice. Cool. Stop you getting poisoned in the Elven Forest if you want to. Lance of Dime this is going to be pretty interesting.
This is probably the best one of the bunch.
I got another one I think is the best one.
This is what I think is the best.
This is quite naughty. Each potency level provides a 30-second increase to the duration of potions with timers lasting over 6 minutes. So
so if you've got an overload, you pop that instead of getting a 6-minute overload, you've now got an 8-minute overload.
8-minute overloads with potency level 4.
This works for any potion that has a timer of at least 6 minutes long. So like you can't pop a camo potion and have like 2.5 3 minutes.
So it works with potions like Weapon Poison Plus takes up to 12
but
minutes.
like normal anti-poison is like 2 minutes or something, so it doesn't stack with that. But yeah, like all the relevant ones it will work with anyway. This works with stuff like what's it called? Potion Reservoir.
Oh yes,
from Invention.
So Ramen did that. Right? You did do that. I thought so.
Yeah, that was when we were back on Eternals.
Yeah, the Eternals.
Yeah, Invention Batch 2. That was a good project.
Actually, now I think about it, like a really good example of the poison damage reduction is instead of you having to force yourself to get Venom Blood at Grigorovich, for example, for your invention,
you could pop
just use
6
that.
of these, and immediately get that.
Yeah, it's not a bad way of actually doing Greg now. Quam, this is my favourite personally.
This is your
Each
favourite.
potency level provides a 2.5% increase to weapon poison damage. Now that means at level 4 potency, 10% more weapon poison damage. On top of Weapon Poison Plus, Cinderbanes, Wyvern Crossbow, if you want to use that for more poison as well.
Some chunky damage.
It's quite naughty. And I know how much poison damage already helps me, so can't wait for that. Yeah, it's going to be awesome, especially for someone like me who does Telos. Love that one. Next up is Maritil Incense Sticks. Each potency level provides a 12.5% reduction to poison damage.
So this is just a cheaper, lower tier version of the Irrit one, so that will stack up to 50%. This doesn't stack with the Irrit one. They're separate ones, separate buffs, so you can't stack like 4 of these cheap ones with 2 Irrit.
Okay. Next up is Renat Incense Sticks, and each potency level provides a +1 prayer bonus. So prayer bonus.
This will slow your prayer drain down.
So you can go to +4.
Yeah, like it's the same as having equipment with prayer bonus. It's just like a flat buff. You can have up to +4 on that. So
cool.
Also nice.
Next up is Snapdragon Incense Sticks, which each potency level provides a 50% increase to the stats restore rate. Now, if you use Overload, it's not really that useful because obviously you have the restore from there.
For sure. But if I don't know, if you're in like Ice Path or something, anywhere where you're getting your stats debuffed for some reason, very slow, it will tick them up a bit faster. That will stack with stuff like.
Just read out.
What did I just read out?
Yeah,
each potency provides a 50% increase to stat restore rate.
So this is
200%
base
at level 4
reduction. So anything that gets reduced, like if you're using Sarrow Breeze without Overload for some reason, maybe you don't have the Herbal level for it, this might help you out a bit there.
I mean, there's some good examples of where, like, Elite Dungeons, some of this could already be used, which would be pretty useful. I mean, just other ways of looking at it. Now, this one, it could theoretically...
This is another spicy one.
This could be the best as well. Each potency level provides a 10% increase to a familiar's summoning spell points recovery rate. Now, for those people who love their Titans and their Scrolls, quite naughty. Quite naughty.
Yep, so this restores your summoning special attack sorry, it increases the rate that it restores at.
That's naughty.
So it won't speed it up, but when it does tick, you'll get more points back than you would usually.
Yes.
So that's a nice bonus. If you're not there, just chugging summoning pots constantly. If you want just a nice passive uptick there.
40% up to level 4. I mean, it'd be pretty awesome. And then we're on Taramaning Incense
Yeah,
Sticks.
this is the second free-to-play one.
Each potency level provides a 25% chance to automatically bank ashes when burning logs in your fire, so 100% at level 4.
Yep. So
Nice way of...
if you're collecting up ashes, this is.
Is this any ash? Or just
This is
ashes?
firemaking ashes.
Okay.
So, and you'll still get the ashes for when the fire burns out as well. So if you want double ashes, you could get that too.
Why not?
Again, it's kind of niche. It's kind of low level, but.
Next up is each potency level of Toflax is each potency level provides a 12.5% chance to avoid an agility obstacle. Obviously, highlight people with agility cape null and void. But
Yeah, if you're on some particularly nasty courses or
Morning Zone Part 2.
or quests where you've got very unkind failure rates, I guess.
Yeah.
is another nice place to use those. Naughty, filthy,
I've
disgusting.
started something now, haven't I? This one is, well, I mean, skillers and everyone will probably end up getting these. Total Incense Sticks. Each potency level provides a 0.5% increase to base XP gain, so 2%.
So if you have the max potency, you've got 2% buff on all your XP gain. And that's the base gain as well, so any multipliers will take this into account beforehand.
So I think Tim would describe it as like a replacement for the Valentine's Day Slam. I think that was
I heard him say that.
That was kind of the pitch for it. So this is like that replacement for it in a way. So it's pretty awesome.
It should hopefully help bring the price of Torstol back up again as well.
Yeah, I've got 100 more. I'm joking. I'm very much joking. I've only got 50.
Is it 50 of 50,000?
For Wagali, each potency level provides a 0.5% chance when fletching to automatically string a bow or add fletches to arrow shafts, and also does not require secondary ingredients.
Yes, this is kind of like Crystal Knife, I think it is. Does this kind of effect?
Yes,
So it automatically strings a bow sometimes. It doesn't cost you a bowstring. You get the XP for fletching and stringing it in one action. And yeah, you also sometimes make headless arrows rather than arrow shafts, and that works for the what are the new ones? The elder ones that are used to make blackstone arrows. That works with this too.
Cool. Next up is Aventoe Incense Sticks, which is each potency level provides a 5% chance to automatically bait hunter traps when placed.
What was that, Hub?
Aventoe. Aventoe, whatever. Honestly, everyone knows of my pronunciations of things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So baiting traps is usually a hassle. It's like, do I want to spend inventory space? I'm gonna have to bank to do it anyway. This just gives a flat boost to by automatically baiting traps sometimes. So this works with stuff like deadfalls and box traps and marmoset plants, that kind of thing. Doesn't work with proteins obviously because you can't bait them, and proteins are already like the best in the game anyway. So, but yeah, it's a buff that nobody's really using, so we'll give you a well, not a free one, but a potentially automatic one there.
And then Cannon Time, which is each potency level provides 2.5% chance not to deplete trees when cut. That obviously I assume doesn't apply to Bloodweed because technically it depletes.
Yeah, so it doesn't work on Bloodwood. Same as like the Resourceful Aura. Basically, it's doing the same kind of thing as that.
Okay.
So any exceptions are.
Does it stack with Resourceful?
Yes, I believe so.
Cool. So you could use theoretically the Refine perk, Resourceful Aura, and this, and you have a good chance of saving.
Of not depleting your trees. I think it just works for trees. I think it was originally planning to work for rocks, but then we changed mining and smithing. So have you heard about that?
God.
No.
One day we'll stop doing that.
Okay, I'm gonna get onto the AoD bit because Ramon's feeling a little bit iffy today, so I want to go through the AoD stuff coming in this update. If you're okay with that, and then you can go if you want because I imagine. Oh, you're not feeling too great, obviously.
Sure, let's rock and roll.
Come up a little bit.
Yep.
Let's get a little closer because you'll have to. I don't want you to try and raise your voice when you're over here.
Shift along, pal.
Alrighty.
Alrighty, so the AoD stuff, I don't know if actually something I can show you is that from this update, of course, where is my timer?
Are you in the world?
Boink.
Yep, that's been reset.
Reset my timer.
Are you in the world?
Yeah.
If you
This is the release build.
Tele 0.
I got the cord here, that's fine. We can go there.
Yeah.
Courtesy of my KOC.
Don't get to show off.
You're welcome.
Right, what now what do you want to do?
Alright, let's hop in.
You want us to hop in?
Let's
You
hop
actually want to
in.
show this? Alright, let's do it. Alright,
I
hop
mean,
in.
Yeah.
well, first of all, if you start,
Yep, cool.
ooh, straight in.
Oh, so no
No.
longer on the platform.
No longer
Yeah.
on a platform.
No
longer
teleporting down.
Having to press that annoying mez box.
Yeah.
Cool.
If the kill has started already, you will go up to the platform though, so you can observe but not fight.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, fair point.
Sweet. Yeah. So you're now jumped straight down.
His voice is fine. He's talking about AoD and he's magically fine. Look at that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So if you come in and you spectate, you will still be put up there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still spectate the fight. We've removed the fog from the room because previously people were just using skybox filters
Sorry.
to get around the fact that you can't see across the entire
Yeah.
platform.
It looked really nice, but you know,
That didn't look nice.
wow,
It was awful.
it was atmospheric.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of added to it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's taken down the smoke crystal, and now,
Oh,
there's,
nice.
now there's less fog.
Nice.
So yeah, so now you'll be able to see across the room whilst also getting the proper lighting, etc. We've also added, so if you usually jump down and you've got a bank, you've got your terror bird or something, you can leave, and this will put you in.
Mate,
Yeah,
mate, I use a
yeah.
bull ant.
Hopefully, it puts you in next bank. So you can do that.
Nice.
Mhm.
And
good.
We've got the same option on the
do you want to go through the
end thing as well. I
Or do you
think.
want to
Yeah.
rattle them off, yeah?
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So obviously, as you mentioned, well, as we've shown, the AoD kill
Yeah.
timer was, thanks, KOC, was removed when we on there. So I don't have a time anymore. So when you log in from this update, everything will be reset. The important thing to mention is that now a kill timer is only set in a team of 7 or lower. So
Yep.
7 or lower will set your kill timers now.
And
So
so obviously you won't be able to get like super fast kills recorded in mass.
Yeah,
Obviously you'll still be able to do
they'll
masses
only
and
track
such, but-
in kills with 7 or less people, and that is checked at the start, so you can't do a 50-man team and then log 40 people out.
we're going for the chest. What we got here?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Not an animation,
I was
it's
going to say
wardrobe,
animation.
yeah.
Whoa.
Mhm. What did you grab? CreWoL?
Oh dear.
Oh. there
Also,
you go.
when you unlock a chest, and if you already had it, you will now unlock the
banner.
The
Awesome,
banner,
the
mhm.
awesome banner.
Oh,
So you'll have that. It's groovy.
That's,
that's nice.
So yeah, if you
All-
already
all
owned
4 of that have
the
that, right?
overrides, that will automatically
unlock.
be
Mhm.
unlocked for you. Is this RC
There's,
or?
yeah, it's actually. You got to fin at the start.
Uh,
there you go. Yeah,
I say I
you're-
think those debugs are still in the release builds.
it's a
Yeah.
whip of RC, so you can do all that
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's
fine.
cool.
It's going for some damage.
Oh, he's actually going to show. Okay, cool.
So if we jump into a fight, I can take you through.
Yeah, by all
Talk you through some bits. So we'll just wait for her to kick off. So now she will, when she begins the fight, she will actually target the person who started the kill. So usually the tank. Previously, when the fight started, she would just be like, "Yo, I'm gonna
Random person, yeah.
I'm gonna go hit Billy over there."
I.e. the aggro issue that you obviously mentioned many a time before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she would usually always, well, sometimes she would re-aggro after this. We did about
You got potato as
A
well.
lot.
we did about 2 hours of testing this one attack over and over and over on Friday, and she didn't do it, so we're pretty happy with where it's at. I'm going to show you the messaging when the mages die. So the mages are dead. So as you can see
Ooh,
down
yeah,
here,
that's nice.
she will the minions will mez out in
Yeah.
their color, respective to their style.
So everyone knows in the kill which order they died in.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and you also didn't really get to see, but when she was phasing, it was pretty much seamless. You are able to attack her
Yeah, so you can still build a drain. You get
yeah.
a little bit of damage.
a little bit. Yeah.
The icicles around the edge as well. Do you want to talk about those?
Yeah. So there was a mechanic. I can hold on. We'll talk about this one
Are
first.
you about to die? Have you got a potato?
No. Oh, I did die. Damn. Brilliant. So at the start of the kill, let's teleport back there. There was a mechanic where the icicles around the edges would slowly
Creep
close in.
Mhm.
But this, on almost every kill I've ever seen, this mechanic never actually came into play. And when it did, because of the amount of spot anims that were actually being played on the map, it lagged people a fair amount. So rather than kind of make it relevant, I just removed it because it wasn't doing
Yeah,
anything. in the
nobody was
first place.
seeing it anyway, so.
Plus, it just makes the fight cleaner. Yeah.
Shadow Orbs you made changes to too?
Yeah, Shadow Orbs. So now they're no longer locks. They're now controllers. So that means they can stack on top of each other.
Okay.
But the damage has been reduced to be 300. So if you do stack them all on top of each other, they'll be about the same. They no longer do AoE damage. So originally in the beta change, I made it so they did area of effect damage, but now they only damage you like they did beforehand if you were standing directly on top of them.
There's a really cool update that I like personally, which is when someone's in the icicle is killed or removed, it resets the movement abilities, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of getting back into that fight. As
Yeah.
well.
So when the player was hit with an icicle, their defensives will reset and their movement abilities will reset. So even if the icicle was killed or they used a comp cape emote to avoid the bleed damage,
Wow.
they wouldn't be able to get back into the fight quickly. So now, once the icicle was cleared or killed, their defensives are reset, so they can bladed dive, surge, escape, barge, whatever they.
All three of them. Well, 4.
Should we talk drops as well?
Drop system changes.
Yes. What we got?
Oh, let's jump right in.
I'm gonna potato it this time.
I can't potato it. There is no insta kill, I think. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I know what you
I mean to avoid.
To not get insta-killed by
not get
smoke
destroyed.
and thingy. Oh, smoke will
So-
still insta-kill you, right?
Changes to how the drop system works. So originally it would roll DPS and then it would roll tanks. So there would be 2 tanks. I've removed the second tank drop because usually the second tank would get the DPS drop.
Yep.
And I've also allowed it so everyone is able to roll on a unique. Whereas previously, if the first person to roll on the drop table got a wand, that means the next 6 people aren't able to actually roll on a codex or a wand. So what we've done now is we've kind of removed that punishment, meaning that if you go in and you duo, you have a duo drop rate, which is the same as if you went into 7-man mode.
Okay.
So it's fair for everyone.
Oh, so the random chance is
But
lower for the less people.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it will still be exactly the same drop rate per kill
Okay.
as it is in live. Just to make sure there's no everyone's saying panic sell codex. And if you do, you've just probably lost money because people will buy when they're low. I've got offers in. I don't know. But yeah, so another thing with the drop changes is on Friday we sat there for about an hour running kills over and over. As you can see, we only got 1 beam. We've got 2 beams.
With two
Two
with pet.
beams. Yeah. Now, when you do a kill, everyone will get a beam. That means DPS pile 1 would appear here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Tank in the middle, and then scrubby participation drops will all get dropped here. So,
Wow, rude.
It's
that's what they're calling
the potato is how we got the pets, by the way.
No, that was RNG.
There was no.
Wow,
there's
I
no-
got
Wow,
pets.
that's really lucky, man.
And I got the blood tentacle.
Yeah. Trust me, we would have reacted if it was legit. Yeah, trust me on that one. So,
What else has changed?
what else we got? Oh, we got the quick exit on the pillar.
Icicles have lower HP now. They're
Quick
down to
exit.
20k, right?
Straight out.
So you're more
Yeah.
incentivized
So
to kill
the
them.
icicle
Yeah.
is now from 100.
You're right there.
Nope. I don't want to crash the server.
Oh, because you're
Oh
killing
right,
everything.
yeah. Don't kill everything in God Wars Dungeon at the same time. That doesn't end well.
So what
I've been there before.
quick leave. If you are at the end of the kill, just please make sure you pick up your loot because as much as you post on Reddit about it, you clicked exit. Next will no longer cleave of her melee hit. Bit of a lot of people are against this, a lot of people are with it, but the people who are against it, the people who are doing fast kills, they do group venge, they get cleaved in melee, they do a little bit of damage. Your timers are being reset anyway, you'll find a way. And that's that one. Next should no longer re-aggro after any of her attacks. True.
I don't think. Do we not want to? I know we kind of mentioned it, but I think maybe reading that's fine. The highlighted one.
If next hits the base tank with magic, I've now put the actual hit on the base tank
Nice.
at a delay of 3. So they are easily able to react to the animation and switch prayer, because previously it was just you would take a ton of damage and you wouldn't really have time to react. And then this is kind of like a quality of life for people who base tank. It's not the funnest role. Usually, like, you start up a raids team and everyone's like pet tank deeps, and some poor soul has to base tank. Every time we're testing a group boss in house, we always make Phil base tank. Like, every time. Base tanking is miserable, in my personal humble opinion. What else we got? So
I think
that is it.
Yeah, I think
agree,
that's all of them.
All in all, she's just feeling a lot smoother.
Yeah.
How she should have felt on launch.
And we'll obviously, when update comes out next week, we'll be keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, we'll
seeing how we're doing.
monitor it. If there's any changes that are massively rejected, probably won't change them again. But we'll sort of talk through with you, see what you like. But originally, when she was first put onto beta, a lot of things were buffed. She was made harder. She did have more HP, but we took everyone's feedback on board. Took a step back and said, look, let's just make this quality of life.
Yeah,
So,
shout outs to Cane of Fire and Wacky Farmer. They love base tanking.
Yeah.
Keep it up, man. Mans?
Mans.
Mans.
That's the plural, right?
Keep it on mans. Mandem.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's another part of PvM Revitalization coming in for next Monday,
Smooth.
which is awesome. So awesome that you were able to get it out in this update,
What's
which
the
is
point
exciting.
in killing ice instead of ignoring it now, so you can get your dude out quicker?
And the movement
then-
abilities come
Yeah.
back.
It's gonna reset their movement abilities. It's gonna stop them taking a bit more damage.
You can leave him in there. Also, that's another thing. So this might be the only buff, but so when the player is under the icicle, the damage is applied after 6 seconds, regardless if the icicle is still on them, the bleed will be applied to them.
Okay.
But if the icicle's killed, I believe it takes it away, so it's fine. You're just wild magic it and asphyxiate, or just
It's 20k. It's
Let him chill.
negligible.
20k is nothing, especially for a 7-man team.
Yeah.
the defense has been reduced from something stupid to 60, so you can literally just do her.
Yeah,
It's worth
any
it.
decent weapon you'll always hit. So
And especially if you're in a 7-man, you're getting a drop anyway, so why not?
All right. Awesome.
Or you can reprisal it. Tickles your pickle.
Cool. Well, I wanted to get Ram on to go on that section. So yeah, hopefully that excites you for AoD stuff. If you haven't tried it, give it a try next week for sure.
someone
It'll
saying
be a lot
Loot Beam
more
Rev
smooth.
Pet, that is already in. That went in this week, right?
The Rev Pet Loop Beam
Yeah.
should be
Yeah,
in. I'm
That's in.
pretty sure.
That's in. Go back to
The-
Revs, you'll be able to
the
find them.
enhancer, I believe, is not Loop Beam, but we know about that. So yeah, the pet is definitely Loop Beam. It's definitely a job.
Sorry, I interrupted you for the sake of the chat there.
No, it's fine. No, by all means, interrupt if anything comes up
It
from chat.
does
That's
become
fine.
unstunned, yes. And yeah. Remove stone spirits. Lol. Any other questions? Add more stone spirits. Combat bug fixes.
So while we're at combat bug fixes, I did a little bit of a post about what's going on with some of the stuff that are giving you issues. So stuff like the charge bow is in as a feedback job that we're looking to get out soonish. This is relation to charge bow and the. Oh yes. What?
I was going to talk about Mod Orion's folks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. By all means.
I mean,
Oh, you want me to? No,
you finished what you were
that's what. No, but that's what I was going to get to.
I
as well.
apologise, Shawnee. I interrupted you. That was awfully rude of me.
But no, jump on it because that's the important one for sure. All right, fine, I'll get it. So it's been more prominent ever since ED3's come out, where if you've noticed, killing the ambassador as he's doing what's called his mage barrage or onslaught, whatever you want to call it. Even after killing him, your defensives just don't work on him. This includes devotion and so on. Yes, that is an issue. We have a fix in, but it required obviously a lot of testing because it's essentially
For sure.
core.
This
right?
is not just an issue with the ambassador as well.
No.
Basically, what the problem is the ambassador is dead. He doesn't exist anymore, but the damage is still coming towards you. And we have safety checks in that go, this damage doesn't have a source because the source is dead. The source doesn't exist anymore. So as a safety check, we turn all your defensives off because it's just like, oh wait, they should probably hit you, right? And yeah, in this situation and some others, but most prominently this one, this is causing significant problems. Because it's such a chunky hit as well.
And also, if you die in solo, that instance is
Gone,
reset
yeah.
and you can't get anything. So that's become more of a problem. But yes, we are
It is. It's a bigger change. That, like, I understand that we've done the fix.
Yeah, it's
and
a
lot of
it's a
people
scary
want
fix
it-
as
want
well.
it-
Well,
want
not
it
scary, a
out
scary change.
immediately. This is a change to some of the deeper code of the combat system.
Yeah.
It has to go through the amount of testing it does. It needs to be thorough. If we release it and things are broken, we will get backlash.
Yeah, you're going to be mad when you lose all your stuff.
Yeah, it's got to go through. It's got to go through the right amount of testing. So just kind of bear with us.
Yep.
We'll get out to.
And those are the big ones. Obviously,
But mad props to Model Ryan for kind of he stayed back
Going
in his
at
own.
it.
He stayed back in his own time to get that
To get this
fixed.
done.
So fair play to him.
so I had a feeling dead inputs would now come up as a result of our conversation that we just had. I'm pretty sure that so first of all, we're absolutely looking into it because it's a problem. Of course it is, but there's a fine line between is it to do with content or is it to do with servers. Now what I mean by that is, as an example, if you go on a server that has a lot of players in there, you might notice there is the slightest of delay when doing things, which can necessitate a dead click. And then if you go on a world in your region that has less, it's fine. So is it an issue with the server or is it the content? That needs investigation into it. But yes, we are aware of it. It is being investigated, and we're trying to do as much as we can for that because we know how much of a pain it is for you. Let's put it that way. Okay, I'm gonna get ready to jump on to Firelighters next. And, Firemaking Changes. Thank you, Ramen. Appreciate it.
Cheers, Ramen.
As always. So we'll jump onto this one, then we'll jump
Yeah,
into.
it should be relatively
another
quick, and then we've
one.
got lots more PvM stuff, haven't we?
So let us jump to home. All right, let's do this. So back in Game Jam in 2018, late 2018, Mod Breezy, Mod Shrew, they
That's right.
took on a project to essentially do little QoL stuff for Firelighters and Fire Spirits. So
Yeah.
what have they gone up to?
So you now have some changes to them. They now have a timer bar, so when they spawn, you know how long they've got left before they disappear.
As in the take care, Ramen.
see you
as
later,
in-
Ramen.
As in the spirits.
The spirits themselves. So yeah, when they spawn, they'll have a little timer bar over their head. So you know when 31 seconds have elapsed, and you lose your Seren Spirit. Same kind of deal with Fire Spirit. So as you can see there, they've got a timer bar over their head. So if you're AFK, you've just nipped to the loo because you're really busting, and you get back and it's like, oh, there's only 1 second left on this. Click it really fast.
Or you can just finish putting in the rest of your logs, knowing how long is left.
Yeah, for sure.
And
So it's
then
like,
click
oh, I don't want to. That's another change. If you click on that now, while you're still firemaking, that won't stop you from firemaking. You'll still keep going without having to reset your actions.
Oh wow!
there.
So okay, so let's do that then to show this.
You probably want a few more logs than that.
It's fine. It's fine. We've got it to make it spawn all the time. So hit the click and the Fire Spirit will reward you for extra fire making XP for the next 5 logs.
Yeah, so that's one of the buffs that you now get from Fire Spirits. You have a random chance of getting an XP bonus for the next few logs for when you're burning. So that would just be extra fire making XP. So that's another reason just to click on them.
I think that what I showed was a bad example there when it interrupted. So so you can click on the Fire Spirit while fire making.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
should be able
correct?
to.
Okay, so let's just. There we go. So it seems to go there.
Interesting. I'll look
Let's
into
have a
that.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll look into that. That's fine. It's
What
all
else have
good.
we got?
We have the items here. So what's this about here?
So these are now items. So usually it's like, oh, it's going to give me like 4 items. I don't have space because I got a Fire Spirit in my first log. Oh, if I wait around, maybe it's going to despawn, something like that. Now you pick them up, they're 1 item. And now they have an option on that to just collect all the rewards immediately.
And
So
this does them all.
that
in
just
one go.
opens all of them in one go.
Okay, let's have a look. There you
It's
go.
like, bam, there's all your items, and then you can hit your bank preset, and then everything's dumped back in the bank.
Nice. That's good. So what about these lighters then? So we can strike them now.
So
what's this
fire
like?
lighters. So previously these were treasure trove rewards. All they did was make your fires a different pretty color. Not very useful. Nobody's using them. They're really low value. Now, if you strike them, you get a buff.
Sorry, I just stopped the banner wiggling everywhere.
So if you want to hit those up,
Yep, that's cool.
that will give you a buff.
Some logs in, so strike up. So there's no
So
dedicated effects for these, right? It's just one effect.
It's just one effect. They still have the same effect of you can use them on logs to change their color. So there's like red, blue, yellow, not yellow, red, blue, green, white, and purple, I think.
Yeah, that's correct.
So you can still do that. When you have this buff active, though, you automatically catch fire spirits, and the fire spirits themselves will have a buff on them. So
There you go. Boink.
So bam, it spawned and you immediately picked it up. This works for divine spirits as well. That you
So
get
it's divination
from,
XP and stuff like that.
yeah, from
Nice.
the Memorial to Gothics. If you've got that buff active, you get divination fire spirits. That works with those two. And if you check on the tooltip, you see they also have a little buff on them as well. So they're a 1.3 on the reward rates. So you're rolling better rewards for them.
Oh, so you can roll on a better
because
table.
because you've had this buff active.
Okay, so let's try it with Elder Logs.
Yep.
Are they affected by porters, someone said?
The spirits themselves,
I presume so? The rewards?
they don't get ported away, I don't think.
So the object itself doesn't
The
get
object
ported
itself
away.
doesn't know. And when you open them, they won't trigger pores either.
Okay, let's try
So
with Elder Logs.
so the rewards for the fire spirits have been changed a little bit. So the higher tier of log gives you a better pool of rewards. We've added clue scrolls to those, so like easy clues are on like the low level logs, but you can get scaling chances depending on the log types you use, and like you can grab elites from the top end ones. So like magics and elders, I think maybe use.
So obviously the question that's going to come up is 1, can they be banked, and 2, can they be stackable?
They can't be stackable because we've had to put these buffs and the type of logs on them. It would be a pretty big rewrite that's not really in scope of the project, which is why we let you open them all in one go, so that you don't have to stick loads of them in your bank. You can just press once, you claim all your rewards, and then that's it, it's done.
So before we get them from Elder Logs, and we do this, there you go, just one shroop.
Bunch of rubies, some ashes,
1,000
loads of runes, yeah.
480 fire runes, 18 cosmic. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a little buff to the table themselves, right? There's a new unique reward on the table there. It's a rare chance of getting.
Is there a unique? Sorry?
Clues?
Yeah, I mentioned clues.
Oh, did you? I'm so sorry.
You were too busy Firemaking.
No, it's too busy doing it. Sorry.
But yeah, to go over that again, the clues go scale. So you're more likely to get like easy clues from the bottom tier logs, and at the top tier logs, you can get elites, but you might get hard.
Does the Firemaking skill kit buff the rewards?
Not specifically, I don't think.
Okay. Oh, actually, while it's at it, the Ring of Fire and the gloves. Do we want to talk about them really quick as well?
So Ring of Fire and the Flame Gloves, if you have them both on, so the base rate of fire spirits is increased, but it's not increased anymore if you have the Crystal Tinderbox. But if you roll on that specific roll where it would have triggered a Crystal Tinderbox, it won't use your Tinderbox charge.
Okay.
So basically, it's a chance of saving charge, or it's a flat buff to fire spirits. Either way.
Cool. All right, so as we mentioned, kind of a quick one there, which was the Firelighters, but with QoL and Fire Spirits, so that's coming in as well. We're still not done. We've got 2 more significant things to show you. Next up is, we're going to teleport
Let's say you need a telly.
We're going to teleport over to the Slayer Tower. Why are we at the Slayer Tower?
Why are we at the Slayer Tower? This resource dungeon wasn't there before, isn't there now in live. If you've got 100 dungeoneering, you can go in here.
I do, so I can go in.
If you're looking for Slayer spots for Abyssal Demons or Dark Beasts and you can't find them because they're super popular and everyone's killing them, you now have 2 more caves to kill Abyssal Demons and 2 more for Dark Beasts. So these are pretty generously spaced. You should be able to pick them all up pretty quickly with AoEs and aggression potions.
So that's obviously one area.
That's one.
Look at this.
This one's a little bit tighter.
Oh, this is a lovely little
And
area.
there was a really annoying rock which
I remember the pillar, right?
Modluke thankfully removed because they were getting stuck behind them, and you know how Abyssal Demons are with teleporting you and themselves
It used to
around.
be here, right? I think. Was it like here or something like that?
No, I think it was like
about
down
here.
there. Yeah, right. So yeah, this will be a nice spot if you can't get in like Slayer Tower or corridors or.
Can you use cannon?
So you can use a cannon in the Dark Beast areas. You can't use them in the Abyssal Demon areas.
Okay.
So yeah, you can scoop things up like normal. Just an extra nice space if you've got 100 dungeoneering to do these. That covers it. We've placed some imps in there as well if you're looking for imp champ scroll as well.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Might waste a couple more cannonballs, but you know.
So there's a chance that you could actually kill imps here while just killing the Abyssal Demons.
Yeah,
and get
for
the
sure.
chance to go.
You
Okay,
might just pick them up in your AoEs if you're hurricaning or something.
Is it on the Dungeoneering Cape as a teleport?
So you can teleport here with Dungeoneering Cape.
Nice.
You can teleport here with Slayer Masks for Abyssal Demons and Dark Beasts. I think it's technically a duplicate teleport because Marcus is like 10 tiles away.
Yes, he is.
But
Yeah,
it's very slightly closer, so we put it on there anyway.
Awesome. Nice. Okay, there you go. Nice big area. That should alleviate the issues with coming into it.
For sure. These are both very popular Slayer creatures, especially Abyssal Demons. So,
100 Engineering is to enter, and it is on the.
It's on the skill guide, yeah, at 100, all the way down there. Bam, there you go. Mauritania Slayer Tower Dungeon. One thing to note is that this isn't part of the Slayer Tower itself.
So the Slayer contracts won't
So
work,
Slayer
yeah.
contracts won't work.
Okay, cool.
You still have to compete in the Slayer Tower for that slight extra buff. If you want the really poggers XP, though, Wildy.
The Firelighters do work for Divination Chronicles from Memorial to Guffix, yes.
They do, yeah, for the Divine Fire Spirits. You get all those buffs.
Which is nice. Does the Mauritania leg, I presume the Mauritania armor buff doesn't work then either, a set buff, I should say.
I want to say no,
because it's in the Slayer area. Slayer Tower area, yeah, it wouldn't work because it's not in Slayer Tower area.
It's a separate resource engine.
Yeah. Awesome though. I mean, about time in sense that you don't have to hop 20 odd worlds on like a busy day to try and find the Abyssal Demons. You know,
No,
having more the merrier really, which is.
But if you still want the best rates, you still have to compete. So.
Oh yeah, of course. So that's great. Why was this dungeon placed near the Slayer Tower rather than using the Fairy Rain accessible Abyss location?
It wouldn't have been relevant for Dark Beast then if it was inside the Abyss. But we reused assets from the Slayer Tower, like this portal with the abyssal tentacles coming through. So it's kind of a nice narrative conceit there, just to say that abyssal demons have come through into this section of reality from the abyss, and Dark Beast have made their home here too.
Cool. Okay. So, we've covered already a fair amount. I'm just going to double check. We actually have some QoL stuff to focus on now.
This one's quite nice.
This is awesome. We had this as a ninja fix at the start of this year as a suggestion. We have now done it, and you might notice in the camera mode option, we now have something called Freedom.
Yep, this third option.
Freedom allows us to go pretty crazy with our zoom.
Yeah, you can zoom
Look at that.
a lot further out and slightly further in as well.
So
if you wanna really look at your ugly mug, you can.
But yeah, this is great. Like this is I can't begin to tell you, like dungeoneering for me is going to be so much better with this. As one example,
if you go somewhere where you can see a bit more in the background,
that's
it's
fair.
probably a good idea.
Let's go Pref. Pref is nice and simple.
Yeah, or maybe somewhere like Wizard's Tower is real nice. You can see
from the top,
really
right.
far off into the distance.
I mean,
but,
even
like,
Pref
yeah,
itself.
even Pref, like you can see you're in like
All the way to
what
Heffin.
Amloth there.
Yeah,
and you
Amloth.
can see Tower of Voices. You can see the monastery in Heffin. You can probably see as far as Cruis over there.
Yeah,
Just.
this is awesome. That's such a good change, honestly. Let's go Wizard's Tower then. As you said, it's a great suggestion, to be honest.
Yeah, hit
Boink,
the
boink,
top floor there. You can see all the way out there. Obviously, it will still be fogged for the furthest renders, but like, yeah.
Oh, Shard Worlds.
You can see Swirlds, you can
Ports
see
of Rim.
Ports of Rim, and how close those boats are actually to the coast.
And then you can actually get a nice little shot as well with a zoom in.
Yep, you can get super close in.
Oh.
Bam, that's you.
So
in your crew robes.
just to demonstrate, obviously, you know, not we could use modern, but
Yeah,
this is
that's,
about
that's
it.
as far in as you go on the standard cameras, and
that's
that's as
it.
far out as you go.
And then classic. We get short
classic
maximum zoom,
classic and modern are pretty similar in terms of zoom levels. So
but this is
then
what
that
I'm going to be using Freedom
further out.
all day.
Mhm.
So
it's,
good.
it's a significant boost to your zoom out there.
Love that. Such a good change. Also, we have an update to the legendary pet scavenging ability.
do.
What we got here?
So yeah, it's like, oh, I want my legendary pet to go pick up my drops on me. Oh man, it's picked up those normal bones when there's I don't know, something valuable there. Now it just goes, what's the most valuable thing in the stack? I know because I'm a genius pet. It goes and fetches that for you instead of just some random object in the pile.
So yeah, it prioritizes the single most valuable item.
The single most valuable item. So yeah, if it's a stack of like 5 billion coins, it will look at that and go, oh, that's one coin. And then in terms of its value anyway.
Yes.
But the most valuable single object in there will go, I'm
So
having that.
does it look at the grand exchange value and then pull that? Is that how it works?
Yes, it
Okay,
does.
awesome. Nice. That's awesome. That was something I wanted to clear up very quickly, which is nice.
Pretty good.
Next up, we have what we got 6H circuits, which
Yeah,
is nice
so-
and simple.
This goes teleport straight to TDs, which is real nice. The boss portal already does that, but that spits you out in the temple at the top, I think. This puts you like just out of their attack range, like right close up. So it's
Just a way of getting right there.
it's a better teleport than the max skill portal.
Embarrassingly.
But obviously you need to have done World Wakes and all the supplementary content to get all of these extra rewards. So
Yeah, I've not got the 6 ring on my
you don't
account.
have it. Or
No,
you need to step your game up.
Yeah, I haven't gone near MQC stuff yet. Because so I can't really show you this one. So you have to take my word for it. I do apologise. Bad showcase my am.
But yeah,
We
nice.
have Remora's necklace, which is a nice little
Yeah,
change
so
as well.
this is a reward. Sorry, this is it. I can't speak. What's going on? Too many S's. This is a reward from Song from the Depths. I got the sentence out. This gives you 1 free teleport to QBD every single day, which is kind of naff. So now it's unlimited teleports to QBD.
So if you don't have your max skill portal, or you don't want to spend your money, even though it's 100k, but you don't want to swap your max skill portal for boss portals,
Yep.
then you just teleport right there, which is nice.
But obviously you have to have done that really low level noob quest. So got to step your game up for that as well, Shawnee.
I've got quest game. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I need to do Chef's Assistant and Violet's Blue actually.
Have you done?
let's have a look.
You've done the ED quest there, right?
Hold on, let's have a look. Yeah, 5 away. Like, two more quests.
Okay.
This is like 100. This is 100k away. This is 3 million away. These can be done via the quest. And that's just
He's
what
only
we
got
want.
lunar spells to unlock. Only
No,
those.
it's done. I haven't unlocked
Is it?
it. I've got the points. I just
Okay.
haven't unlocked them
Okay.
yet. So the produce
I was
is
gonna
there.
say that's not.
It's
That's
there.
not a quick issue there.
Yeah, the produce is there, so I don't have to worry. Okay, next up is something for Dungeoneering, which is a nice, cool little QoL. Involves a stomp.
Yeah,
So
the
what we've
boss
done for
Stomp. He's the 3rd behemoth boss, I think, in Furnished Floors. So obviously you have to you have to do damage. You have to grab the crystals, place them on the pillars, and they depower the portal and chop his head off, which is nice, lovely image. Usually you have to sit there and wait for the whole phase to end though, and it's just like, oh come on, I want to get on because you're racing through DG floors as fast as possible. So when you place those 3rd set of crystals, the portal immediately closes and the boss
Well,
dies.
it's actually not just the 3rd. It's actually one.
Oh, is it all of them?
Yeah, it's all of
Okay.
them. So you can literally, the moment that the game knows you've put down the 2nd crystal in that set, it'll skip straight to the next phase. So it's
Nice.
a much smoother boss fight experience.
Shows what I know. I didn't look at this one.
No,
so,
you have it's there. It's just the release. We just need to tweak the release now, but that's fine. But yeah, it's much more smoother, which is great. Like anything to make boss ending sequences or boss integrations in DD
anything where you're sat there doing nothing is just. I hate dead time in all games. It's really frustrating.
Next up is a buff to Ricochet for ranged. What have we
Correct.
got?
So if you've used Ricochet ability before, it'll hit the main target and then it'll look around in a pretty small area and throw out some extra damage at some close by enemies. This is range 4 currently. We're buffing this up to range 6 now, so up to 6 tiles around your main
Nice.
target, they'll get pinged for slightly extra damage.
And it works with Karamin.
Sorry?
Karamin, the perk. Is that how you say it?
Karomin.
Karomin, yeah. See,
Yeah,
this
it
is-
should do. Stack on top of that.
Karomin, not Karamin. Jesus, sure.
Avento, Karoming,
Yes, it works with it. That's fine. That's all I wanted to know. Oh man, it's so bad to
Shields.
pronounce it. Yeah, shush. All right, next up. Okay, we've done that one. What else we got?
that's the big one. Let's save that
Yeah,
for later.
that's the last one
What else?
on my
Have I
list.
written anything else down?
I think we've gone through it all.
6 phase circuit, Ricochet, Stomp, Remora. I've got everything from the Firemaking stuff, I think.
Yeah, I think we've done.
Yeah, I think we've covered all of
And
that.
it's
So it's
actually almost
just this
coming up-
last big one
Yeah,
now.
and it's almost coming up to an hour, which makes me happy. This has worked out very nicely. Okay, so we're on our way to raids. This is something that I wanted to do for Game Jam last year, and I'm so chuffed that Ninja have picked this up. And this is the ability for groups to finally go into a practice mode in raids. Now, for some people in this chat who do raids like no other, it's very easy for them. Sure, won't affect you, but this is important for kind of essentially bringing people into the raids mechanics
and learning the
without
fight.
feeling like they're letting their team down and getting them killed and costing them a boss fight.
And when
so
you
on.
do die, you're having to spend all that money.
Yes.
Like getting your stuff back. Yeah, so now you can go into a group. Obviously, you'll have to be in a raids group, but then you have this new option on the portal on the barrier.
All kind of.
We have 5 practice modes in here. So
Yeah, when I made it was only 3, so these guys have stepped up and made it much better, which is great. So, of course, it has the usual checks. Everyone has to be ready.
everyone has to be ready. The group has to be finalised. You need to right-click this, and then as the team leader, you have to set that up that way. And yeah, you've got 5 modes that you can practice in. So you can start. You can continue on through a couple of these. Some of them will have like stopping points, but
Yeah.
you can start Durzag from the beginning at the horde of NPCs. You can start the Durzag fight immediately after all of that. You can jump into Yakamura. There starts you at the canal, so you can practice the puzzle there.
Yep, cool.
Or you can jump straight to No Canal, which puts you
Start the fight,
right before the Yakamura fight. You still have to click on it to start it. Or you can go straight to Mirage phase.
So, as an example, we'll choose Mirage. So, if teams are just trying to get their final Mirage phase down, you'll notice, of course, there is a message there that goes out to all the group members telling you they've started, and when they enter, right, it will pop them.
Yeah, so it's only the leader that has to set up practice mode through that option. After the group's been set up that way, everyone just runs in as normal.
So yeah, everyone can just run in, and then as usual, you press the poll to start. But you'll notice, of course, that we have Yaka come in, and then you have the 60k. And you might also notice there's no planks, but that's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah.
The reason why there's no planks is because we haven't triggered Mirage.
And there you go. The planks have spawned.
Boink.
So and there's like 10 or something stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't need to have made progress in the raids to practice these. Like if you've never done a BM or a Yaka kill, you can jump straight into Mirage kill to practice it.
Yeah, so the reason why I just did this was because, not everyone is experienced doing raids, and sometimes the problem is that some people are nervous to jump in because they don't want to let the team down, and then they cost test and it puts them off the experience. So basically, the idea behind it was, why not? We have practice mode. Why not have a way of making it risk-free?
Learn it in a safe environment.
Yeah.
It's still going to cost you supplies.
Of course, but compared to dev costs and everything else, it makes it a lot better.
For sure.
Which I think is really cool. So, I'm just so happy that Ninja took it on and actually made it better as well. So all the praise there, they absolutely smashed it.
But obviously you won't get any XP, you won't get any loot. You won't get any boss times, you won't get achievements, you won't get KC. You will get music tracks, so if you want to unlock the music tracks without playing the bosses, you can jump in practice mode if you really want.
Boom, there you go. But yeah, I mean that all of this we've shown you today releases next Monday.
That's
There
the
is
plan, yeah.
a lot. There's stuff for skillers. There's stuff for your PvMers. Obviously, it's PvM Revitalization week, but we have, of course, the fire spirit changes. And technically, the incense burners are a skilling update in a sense because of what comes around it as well.
There are milestones for firemaking in the same way that potion unlocks are. So
there is a lot, which is very exciting. But yeah, I think that will do everything. Why is Rubik saying?
Unless
Rubik said Shawnee phone. What have I missed?
Don't know. What have you missed?
Oh, okay, I can say it. Okay, cool. I can say something regarding Stone Spirits. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
So bear with me, everyone. Let me just load something up here. Power of the phone. I have a little update on Stone Spirits to tell you. So let me just read out what I have been sent to make sure that I'm on point. Okay. So when it loads. So yes, obviously we acknowledge that there is a problem with Stone Spirits. We're past double XP weekends, and the value of Stone Spirits, the ores and bars haven't picked up. There is a problem, of course, with smithing as well. You have recalled from the stream last week when I spoke to Monjack about this, he identified there was a problem with smithing, and it's kind of inherent to this. And as of the moment, we are currently working on a design to fix this. But, as a note, I gotta make this very clear, we do need to take our time on this because we do not want to screw this up, create even more problems to go with it. But yes, there is a design being worked on to try and sort out the issue with Stone Spirits. So, I'm hoping that gives you some reassurance as to stuff is happening. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. So wasn't sure if I was going to be able to say it during the stream, so there's still discussions going on. But yes, there's now actually going to be a design being worked on, which is a lot better than what it was before because we didn't really have anything. We were going to just leave it as it is. So it's important to mention that.
It wasn't just that we were going to leave it. We were expecting things to adjust themselves, and then if it became a problem, now we take action. So
cool,
which we are planning on doing now. So
Yeah, which is great. But anyway, everyone, that'll bring us to 6 o'clock. That'll bring us to the stream today. So we've covered a lot, and I think we've covered all corners where possible. So you can look forward to on next Monday. In total, we have a new Slayer resource dungeon for your
Abyssal
Dark
Demons.
Beasts and Abyssal Beasts.
Yep.
Abyssal Demons.
Abyssal Beasts and Dark Demons.
Yeah, Abyssal Demons, Dark Beasts. You can look forward to the Incense burner updates, which involves all the different kind of herbs in game and adding effects to passive effects when you use them.
Uses all the standard logs, including Acadia, and ashes as well. So if you want to pick those up from your Slayer kills, you might be able to make some money on those coming up.
And then, of course, with the Firelighters update, which is a small QoL update to Firelighters themselves, more passive effects, but also for Fire Spirits as well, which is nice. And then we have a raid practice mode for everyone trying to get into raids who don't want to have basically risk-free PvM in raids. And
five different phases.
And then finally, AoD bug fixes and QoL stuff courtesy of Mod Ramen. So
lots of nice stuff though.
There's a lot of stuff.
It's been a big month for Ninja.
Yeah, I mean, taking on essentially the month of Game Jam projects from Ninja, I think you guys have done incredible.
Obviously, we did Bounty Hunter redistribution recently as well. That's all gone out.
Yep.
You can check that out. Pick up some of the rewards that maybe you were a bit reticent to go for before. Get some Slayer XP there as well.
Oh, this camera's so good.
You in freedom mode still.
Yeah,
nice.
hell yeah. Look at this. I could literally watch all the versions of Yaka just with ease. Oh, so good.
And of course,
So
we've
good.
got our usual suite of bug fixes as well that you get every single week. So look forward to those too.
Amazing.
They'll be in the patch notes as usual.
All right, and that, everyone, will do it. The camera, if you're wondering how I can do that, you can do that from next Monday. It's a camera mode called Freedom. So, yes, that, along with other QoL stuff in regards to Ricochet and everything else. Watch a stream back. There's a lot. Or just watch out for the TLDW. We've gone for a fair bit, let's put it that way. So, as always, everyone, I hope you've enjoyed it. Mike Hersey, thank you so much for joining me just to cover on stuff. Mod Ramen when he was here earlier as well. But yes, thank you so much, everyone. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, and we'll see you on next Monday for the game update. Take care, everyone.
Have a good one. See you later.